Hello, winter is slowly approaching, and I remembered that at the end of last winter I filmed my own ice fishing lures underwater. The video didn't turn out very well, but I decided that I would still show you and maybe it will be useful to someone, especially since all of these lures were bought in China. So you will still have time to order them, if you wish. I will start with this Rattlin. It is a copy of Madness. 30 grams weight, 9 centimeters length, and it is made of hard rubber. You can even bend it a little. It seems to be made of high quality. The hooks are good. There are several weight options. I will leave you links in the description. Unfortunately, I filmed this lure the worst, but take a look at its work underwater. It moves well to the sides, vibrates nicely when pulling, and swings well in place. Last winter, I caught a pike on it and had several bites, so the Rattlin really works and is worth attention. We can immediately review the larger version of this Rattlin. Here is the 10.5 centimeters lure, also a copy of Madness, but bought from another seller. It is also made of rubber. The quality is very similar. And I would say the work underwater is almost identical. Wide range of movements, nice vibration and stability when swinging. This is my biggest Rattlin. I will definitely try it more this year. Last year I did not devote enough time to it and I did not have any bites on it. Next is this smaller Rattlin VIB, 8 centimeters and 17 grams weight. It is a copy of Imakumi. Such a universal option, I think perch, zander, and pike can be interested. The work underwater is good, again, wide movements. The Rattlin sometimes turns very nicely belly up, and I have caught several pike on it, so it is already a tested and working option. I also have such a Rattlin. I could be wrong here, but it looks like a copy of Smith. This lure is already more different from the others. It does not stand horizontally in the water, but with its nose more to the bottom. It also makes a little sound when vibrating. Its movements are narrower. It sinks head down to the bottom faster, but unusual movements can interest the fish. So you need to try this lure. I liked its work less, so I devoted less time to it. Accordingly, I did not manage to catch anything on it yet, but I think I need to try, because it is important whether the pike will like such work. Here is another non-standard option. This is a copy of the Pontoon Beta VIB. 6 centimeters and 14.5 grams. This lure is unique in that it has such a plastic fin. It is a good option if you aim in both perch or pike. Because of this fin, its work is non-standard underwater. It moves in a chaotic trajectory. It vibrates beautifully and makes a little sound when rising. A really very interesting lure, and as I mentioned, the size should also attract perch. Again, I used it less because I mainly fished for pike and chose larger lures, but this year I will definitely offer it for perch as well. The next one is probably my favorite lure. Here is a copy of the Bass Day Range VIB. If I remember correctly, it is 9 centimeters length and 33 grams weight. It is heavy lure. Basically, almost all the lures I have are quite heavy, because the idea was to try them more often in deeper waters and not only in winter. During one summer fishing trip, I tried to catch zander with it. I saw on the echo sounder that the fish were interested, but I couldn't catch any. So I like this bait because of how it looks underwater. It has beautiful colors and it shines beautifully underwater when it moves. Vibration is nice and its coloring is amazing. But now, I want to buy a few lighter options for smaller lakes. So as I said, this is my favorite lure, but there is such a nuance that I haven't caught anything on it yet. I don't fish much in the winter, so I can't catch on all the lures, but its work underwater fascinates me the most. Unfortunately, I couldn't reveal this in the footage. I'll definitely catch a pike on it this year. I also have such a thick one. It was bought a long time ago, so I can't say what model it is, what its parameters are, or what the link is. But anyways, decided to show you how it works underwater. Maybe it will be interesting. It's different from the others because of its shape. Its movements are not wide, but it vibrates strongly when rising and makes a lot of noise. However, I think that it is not very suitable for ice fishing. I would rather use it for casting and summer fishing. But you never know. Such a loud noise can annoy pike in winter too, so it can possibly provoke a fish to attack. So I think it is worth of trying. And another similar option is this Rattlin. It is also quite fat. I couldn't find out what kind of copy it is, but I have a link to it, so I'll share it in the description. It's 5 centimeters and 13 grams weight, but I would say that its movements are quite different, and it is worth trying in winter. It also makes a little noise, vibrates quite actively, but it glides a little more to the sides. So it's a quite interesting option. On the other hand, I haven't caught anything on this bait yet, and I haven't tried it very much. Here is another lure that I could not identify, whose copy it is, but here is one of the first Rattlins I bought, 9 centimeters long and 26 grams weight. This is one of the thinner lures I own. I think the zander should be interested in it. The work is quite beautiful, wide movements, moves beautifully. Several pike have been caught with it, so it really works. And finally, I will add a few underwater footage of these ice fishing lures with glide tail, so that you can compare their work underwater. As I mentioned, look for all the links in the description. I really do not encourage you to buy Chinese copies, but at least it was useful for me to start my ice fishing with these lures, to understand I like it at all or not, and to understand how different shapes of lures behave underwater. And now, I am confident to look for original lures, when I know what I really need and like. So that's it for today. Subscribe if you liked the content. See you next time.